Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Nutty Historian channel. Well, today we're going to talk about the difference between Easter, Greek Easter, and the regular Easter. Well, as we all know, in the Christian world, Easter is the celebration of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, approximately 30 to 33 AD. Now, the calculation of Easter is complicated because it is linked to the Hebrew calendar. Jesus was crucified, as you know, immediately before the Jewish Passover, which is the celebration of the Exodus from Egypt of the Israelites under Moses. A celebration of Passover started on the 15th day of the month of Nisan, and Nisan is the first month of the Hebrew calendar. Now, Jewish months start when the moon is new, and therefore the 15th day of the month must be immediately after a full moon. It was therefore decided to make Easter Sunday the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox. As we all know, the vernal equinox is equal days and equal nights, and that occurs usually in spring, approximately about 20 to 21st of March. Now, Easter is a movable holiday. It does not fall on a fixed date on both Gregorian and Julian calendars. Instead, the date for Easter is determined on the lunisolar calendar. It's based on the moon calendar, basically, similar to the Hebrew calendar. Now, what was determined? How was Easter determined? It was determined by the First Council of Nicaea in 325 with 318 bishops, and they decided how Easter will be calculated and determined. They established, of course, the date of Easter as the first Sunday after the full moon following the vernal equinox. Now, this equinox, as we said before, occurs on March 21st, and it is not it's not necessarily the astronomical correct date. Now, in the Western Christianity, using the Gregorian calendar, the calendar that we use today, Easter always falls on a Sunday between March 22nd and April 25th. That's the time frame about when people celebrate Easter. Now, in the Eastern Christianity, Eastern Orthodox Church bases its calculations on the Julian calendar. Now, the Julian calendar is different than the Gregorian calendar because it's different about 13 days. And because due to the 13-day difference between the calendars, March 21st corresponds to April 3rd in the Gregorian calendar. Therefore, Easter varies between April 4th and May 8th for the Greeks, the Serbians, the Bulgarians, the Georgians, the Russians, and the Serbians, and all the rest, the Lebanese. Some Persians are Greek, the Jordanians are Greek, the Jordanians are Christian. So that's how they calculate it. Among the Oriental Orthodox, some churches have changed from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar, and the date for Easter, as for other fixed and movable feasts is the same as the Western Church. Now, the Greek Orthodox Church does not always celebrate Easter on the same day as the Catholics or the Protestants, etc. The reason is that the Greek Orthodox Church uses the Julian calendar, we said, when calculating Easter. This is the case even in the churches that otherwise use the Gregorian calendar. Now, when the Greek Orthodox Church adopted the Gregorian calendar, because until 1923, Greece used the Julian calendar, which, like we said before, is 13 days difference, and that's why we have a difference of dates. In some years we have the same date. Now, they decided to change to the Gregorian calendar, and they chose, the Greeks did, to use the astronomical full moon as the basis for calculating Easter rather than the official full moon described in the previous sections. And they chose the meridian of Jerusalem to serve as definition of when a Sunday starts. However, except for some sporadic use in the 1920s, this system was never adopted in practice. Now let's talk about Easter of 2012. The Eastern Christian Orthodox Easter will be celebrated this year on the 15th of April, whereas on the 8th of April, the Catholics and the Protestants will have their Easter. Now, in 2013, Easter Sunday falls on May 5th, Eastern Christian Orthodox faith people. And on 2014, Easter falls on April 20th, and we have the same exact Easter for the Catholics and for the Orthodox Christians. Now, in 2015, Easter Sunday falls on April 12th. That's early. And on 2016, on May 1st. And finally, April 16th, Easter Sunday falls on that day, on the year 2017, and we have the same exact Easter. Now, the Greek Easter always falls after the Passover. So the fathers of the church decided that the Greek Easter, or the Eastern Orthodox Easter, will fall always after the Passover of the Jewish Passover. So that's the story of why we celebrate Easter differently. I hope I answered some of your questions, and thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.